And welcome to another episode of the Cleveland Sports Bros podcast. I'm Matt alongside my brother Nick. Nick, how's it going today?
Great. I'm very excited for this Sunday. The Browns are back playing the Bengals.
Yeah, and it's we've taken a long break from the podcast, but hopefully we'll have more, probably less frequently than we have in the past, but bring some updates occasionally throughout the season, hopefully. So today we're going to talk about this home opener against the Bengals, and then to end the show, we'll give our thoughts, our predictions on the overall record for the season and playoff hopes and things like that. So, all right, without further ado, Nick, let's get your take on who wins this game in Cleveland, week one.
So I don't want to say Cleveland has had Joe Burrow's number, but he hasn't had the greatest uh, moments, especially when he plays uh, in Cleveland. And um, I know he's a superstar quarterback, and once upon a time so was Flacco, but he's much older. Uh, but also, I want to mention the reason why I believe Cleveland can win, not only being at home, but last year, uh, the Bengals' defense was not that great and didn't improve until much later in the year.
Yeah, Burrow is as good as he is. He's 3-5 against the Browns in his career. So, um, a lot has been said about how much emphasis Cincinnati's put in their offseason and preseason into starting off hot. They've been known, in recent seasons to start cold, 0-2, things like that. So I think they're going to come out strong, and they are heavily favored in this game. That being said, I like the Browns defense. I like the home opener. I like our record against Joe Burrow and our our matchups with the weapons he has and the weapons we have on defense. I have the Browns winning this game. I don't have them winning a lot this season, but I have them actually winning this game as well. I like our defense, and I like Joe Flacco having a whole offseason, regular season, pretty much offseason and then preseason to get ready, knowing that or at least knowing he was probably going to be the starter and not coming off the couch towards the end of towards into a playoff run like he did in 2023. So I think Joe Flacco can still throw the ball really well. I don't know if we have enough weapons on offense, across the board to have sustained success, but I think that they can win this week. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what can happen. So Nick, a little more about this game. What do you think are the keys to the game? We've kind of touched on it a little bit, but if we both have the Browns winning, what do you think needs to happen?
Well, it is often pointed out that uh, Denzel Ward, the Browns' star cornerback, is one of the very few who can shut down Joe Burrow's star wideout, Jamar Chase. And he's been known to do that in the past, and hopefully he can do that, you know, this Sunday, especially in front of the home fans. Everyone knows we have Myles Garrett that can, knock through any a double team that is thrown at him and maybe get to Burrow a couple times, maybe even force a strip sack. I'm excited for the new defensive pieces, especially linebacker Carson Schwarzenegger. Uh, is there a new rookie you're looking forward to seeing that could affect the game?
Yeah, definitely. On defense, it's Carson, and then as well as Mason Graham. We'll see. It's a lot of like he was, I think, two-time. I don't know what, two-time All Big Ten or All American at Michigan, something like that. Really good, really talented. I think a lot of people were surprised that he was taken fifth overall, but there's no question he's talented, and I'm really excited to see if he can. I know he's on the interior, but see if he can take off some pressure off of Myles Garrett. So yeah, I definitely want to see him. And I'm really looking forward to seeing on offense, as far as rookies go, Harold Fannin Jr. I really like him. I expect him to get a lot of playing time and mesh well with, using him with David Njoku at the same time as well.
Yes, and it seems Flacco favors tight ends. We know how much Flacco and David Njoku get along on and off the field. Um, Njoku and Fannin Jr., both tight ends. Flacco connected with Fannin in the preseason game for the touchdown pass he threw, and we saw on the field and on the sidelines how excited the team was to see that, already beginning to shell, and it wasn't even a real game. So I'm going to be looking at Flacco and the tight ends offensively because our running game may not be as strong as we hope.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think the key to the game, besides the obvious of who scores more points, is going to be the turnover battle. If the Browns can force a few, more turnovers than Cincinnati, protect the ball on offense, and then, like you said, maybe Miles gets a strip sack, or anyone does. Maybe Denzel or Greg Newsome or whoever can get a pick. We saw a huge one a few years ago where Cincinnati was marching down the field in the opening drive, and Denzel had that pick six from the goal line, essentially. Um, I really think the turnover battle, it's always huge, but if the Browns are going to come away with an upset, I think they're going to need it in this game. So I think that'll be a key focus. So surprising, we both have them winning. It was hard to pick because I'm kind of down on the Browns this year, but I was going through their schedule and I actually ended up with more wins than I was kind of previously thinking. So we'll touch on our predictions for the season overall as well. So I have the Browns winning 6 games, going 6-11. I want to say Vegas has 4.5 or maybe 5.5, so not too far off. Nothing crazy, not making the playoffs with that record or anything like that. But getting some wins, and I actually haven't beaten Cincinnati twice. One because I just don't like what I've seen against Cincinnati in their start to the season. They've recently not had great starts. Obviously, that could change. It's a new year and all that. But then I have Cleveland winning in Cincinnati to end the season in large part because I think Cincinnati will have probably locked up a playoff spot and not be playing anyone. So I don't know, but 6 wins, 11 losses, nothing amazing. And then looking forward to the draft in April.
Yeah, I don't recall my second pick for matchup number 2 against the Bengals, but you make a strong point. They could definitely already have a playoff spot wrapped up, and they may not be playing stars like Burrow and Chase. Um, but I also have the Cleveland Browns finishing at 6-11. Um, Overall in the division, I think they will go 2-4. So it's interesting how we have come up with the same outcome. And, you know, everyone says week to week in football, you can never predict football or any given Sunday, anybody can win. We'll see what happens. We're definitely excited and rooting them on.
And yeah, and we had the same records and same division record, but we were talking about it earlier, and we had some discrepancies here and there where you thought, for instance, you think that they're going to beat Green Bay, I think they're going to lose. So we don't have the exact same record, or we do, but not every week. And then I guess the final question, Nick, do you think Flacco plays the entire season? And if not, when do we see Dylan Gabriel and any other quarterback for that matter?
Well, uh, the two big factors, the two big factors that will determine if Flacco gets to continue playing or not is simply, you know, let's say Flacco and the offense can skyrocket and he's protecting the ball and they're surprisingly stacking up more wins than expected. And I know you can spit out, the touchdown to interception ratio, but also, his health. He's 40 years old. He's, you know, not young like a younger veteran, but um, I do think if Flacco, even if he's staying healthy, but if he can't protect the football, the Browns may turn it over to Dylan Gabriel. I've heard how much Stefanski really likes him, and you know, one way or another, you want to win. But I'm excited to see one of the backups at any point in the season.
If you had to predict a week or the first opponent, do you have that?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember the week number, but I would love to see Flacco at least last until after the first Pittsburgh game. And the reason I say that is because you have two veteran quarterbacks, Flacco and Rodgers, who will be playing in Pittsburgh for his uh, 19th season, first in Pittsburgh. I think that would be a very fun matchup. So,
Yeah, I think he'll, obviously barring unknown or injury, he'll play through Pittsburgh. I think just based on their record or what I think their record will be, I have Dylan Gabriel coming in against Miami after that Pittsburgh game. If not, after New England before New York Jets, because we have that bye week. So uh, I'm sure if things do go south, they'd like to give him that bye to prepare. And that, but I don't know. A lot could happen. So yeah, I'm in agreement. I think we'll see Dylan Gabriel at some point, probably earlier, somewhat early in the season. First half ish, but we don't know. And then who knows if he would play the remainder of the season as well. And obviously a lot of people are looking to maybe see Shedeur Sanders. So, yeah, so we'll see what happens week one. And again, wouldn't be shocked at all if they lost, but I also wouldn't be surprised if there's a big upset in Cleveland. So really looking forward to the game and looking forward to seeing what the season has in store. Thank you everyone for listening to the Cleveland Sports Bros podcast.